Good afternoon. Did you know that according to the CDC, 3 out of 4 American children are diagnosed with ADHD? ADHD is also known as attention deficit hyperactive disorder. It is defined by WebMD as a chronic condition marked by persistent inattention, hyperactivity, and sometimes impulsivity. ADHD children have several signs such as forgetfulness, very unorganized, lack of focus, hyperactivity, but symptoms can vary from child to child. Also, ADHD can carry on into adulthood. Most people do not outgrow it, so they face challenges of ADHD as an adult also. Boys are more likely to be diagnosed than girls. In the United States, many believe that we are overdosing for this disorder, but many believe that we are underdosing because we have more information on ADHD now. My case study was about Gabe. He was a second grader who came to a new school to Miss Susan's class. He came about mid-year. He had Miss Susan, who is an excellent teacher with excellent classroom organization skills. He was very handsome, active little boy. He was always the first one on the playground and the last one to leave, usually a teacher having to make him to leave. He always organized the sports outside. He would call the teams. He would be very good at any sport they play, one of the best ones in second grade. But in the classroom, he struggled. He struggled with organization, staying attentive, forgetfulness. His teacher was getting very concerned, so she talked to one of the special ed teachers to come and observe him in class. As she observed him, she noticed that he forgot really easy. He couldn't stay still. He would try to start a conversation with anybody he could start one with. So she suggested that Miss Susan hold a meeting with his parents. He is a Hispanic child. He spoke very good English, and so did his father. His mother did not speak very good English. When the teacher started talking to him about his classroom management skills, the parents were very concerned. They thought it was something that they were doing at home, and the teachers explained that maybe he should go to a doctor and get tested for ADHD. The dad's immediate reaction was, "No, I do not want my child on medication." So the teachers had to explain that not always do kids need to be on medication, that sometimes there are coping skills you can learn that a psychologist can teach you to keep him off medication, but it'd be best determined by a doctor. As a parent of a child with ADHD, I completely understand where Gabe's parents were coming from. It is hard to sometimes accept that your child has a problem, but accepting it is the easiest way to help your child. Going to the doctor and getting a diagnosis, it does not mean that your child has to be on medication. You can teach them coping skills to help them better stay organized and focused in class. The CDC recommends children 3 to 4 not be put on medication, or 4 to 5. They recommend seeing a psychologist and taking coping mechanisms to help the child with ADHD. As I said before, usually ADHD is carried in to adulthood, and according to WebMD is hereditary. 35% of family members that have ADHD will have a child with the same symptoms. Us as a society have trouble with, there is a conflict between whether we should medicate children, whether we are diagnosing them properly. In my opinion on that is, I think that some children struggle so much with the ADHD. They're very smart children, but their brain is just going in 20 different directions. So I believe that getting a doctor's opinion is the best thing. And with that, a doctor will usually just do a questionnaire to determine if your child has symptoms of ADHD. There are very different kinds of ADHD. Some are not hyperactive. Some just can't stay focused. Some can't stay focused and are hyperactive. And a lot of children with ADHD sometimes also have other illnesses that come along with it, such as autism, depression, and that's also something that would need to be screened by a doctor. ADHD is a serious problem for some children, and medication is necessary. But that is a decision to be made by parents and doctors. I think that having knowledge of this and teaching yourself to better understand this child and not jump to conclusions, just not say this child's bad or this child's just not wanting to learn. Maybe, really try to understand this kid as in any situation. So that's my take on the ADHD, and I completely understand how Gabe's parents feel not wanting to put him on medication, because me as a parent, as I said earlier, I struggled with getting my child tested for 3 years, and when he got tested, we seen a major improvement once he started medication. So although it may be hard, it may be the best thing for our children.